So remember where we were. All of a sudden, all of the seagulls were cut loose. They got off because of a plane going snap right through the silk strings, and the peach is falling. Everybody's saying goodbye. Another problem. Another solution? Chapter 35. Round and round and upside down went the peach as it plummeted toward the earth, and they were all clinging desperately to the stem to save themselves from being flung into space. Faster and faster it fell, down and down and down, racing closer and closer to the houses and streets below, where it would surely smash into a million pieces when it hit, and all the way along Fifth Avenue and Madison Avenue, and along all the other streets in the city, people who had not yet reached the underground shelters looked up and saw it coming, and they stopped running and stood there staring in a sort of stupor at what they thought was the biggest bomb in the world falling out of the sky onto their heads. A few women screamed, others knelt down on the sidewalks and began praying aloud. Strong men turned to one another and said things like, "I guess this is it, Joe," and "Goodbye. Everybody, goodbye." And for the next 30 seconds, the whole city held its breath, waiting for the end to come. Remember, all the people on the streets thought this was a bomb. They don't know it's a peach. Chapter 36. "Goodbye, Ladybug," gasped James, clinging to the stem of the falling peach. "Goodbye, Centipede. Goodbye, everybody." There were only a few seconds to go now, and it looked as though they were going to fall right in among all the tallest buildings. James could see the skyscrapers rushing up to meet them at the most awful speed, and most of them had square, flat tops. But the very tallest of them all had a top that tapered off into a large, sharp point. Wait a second. All of them. I was thinking people. Let me go back. James could see the skyscrapers rushing up to meet them at the most awful speed, and most of the skyscrapers, meaning very tall buildings, had square, flat tops. Okay, so the buildings were flat at the top, most of them. But the very tallest of them all had a top that tapered off into a long point. So the tallest had points at the top. Like an enormous silver needle sticking up into the sky, and it was precisely onto the top of this needle that the peach fell. There was a squelch. The needle went in deep, and suddenly there was the giant peach caught and spiked upon the very pinnacle of the Empire State Building. So the problem, peach was falling. Solution, got stuck on the Empire State Building. I think the next page, there's our picture. There it is. That's what happened. Stuck. All right, we'll end there.